Welcome back. The interview of the week. The overwhelming numbers of 83 parties that have participated in the last week elections are fighting each other severely in a small nation of nearly 3 million. It seems that no party is happy with the announced result so far. Observations of Rakib local monitoring NGO President محمد الأمين الكتاب in his interview with الوطنية TV about the contested elections. This is the big story to analyze. Please watch.
First of all, I would like to thank الوطنية for hosting me in this maiden program. They have just started. I'm very happy to be given the opportunity to rub minds with you and to exchange with you on the issues of importance of us and that are related to the elections process that is unfolding today on our national scene. Let me first of all mention that as an observer, that is to say somebody who has to be even-handed, who has to be at the same distance from all the stakeholders, I have to watch my step and to see and to think twice before saying anything that could be interpreted as biased or something like that. So, but this also is to be seen at the same time as the fact that I am a Mauritanian citizen and an intellectual for that matter. And as such, I have an opinion to express. I have assessment to make on the situation of my country. But I have to make the difference between the two and to give allowances to the two situations. So as you said, of course, I have been monitoring and following the unfolding of the process on the scene. I have noticed many things. I have noticed a plethora of parties. I guess that I gathered that we have 83 parties vying for these seats in the parliament and in the councils, the municipal councils. That's a huge number of parties in a small country with 2 million population, 2 million people. So I may say that this number is overwhelming. It crowded the scene. Most of these parties have appeared as by spontaneous generation. They were not known 2 months ago. And now they are here, not only here, but wanting to participate and to take their share in what is going on in the elections. Well, how can we put up with that? It's not easy. But the situation is that in Mauritania we have this huge number of parties. And the problem is these parties are at each other's throat. They do not work together. They do not join efforts, to join hands rather, to go to the same. They are fighting. They are at two ends of the log, at the two logs' ends, and that has an impact on the process itself in general. Another thing to be mentioned, which I have noticed and noted as an observer, is that nobody seems to be satisfied with nobody. Nobody is satisfied with nobody. Everybody is criticizing everybody. The parties do not, as I said, agree. And most of the parties, even those who were in the presidential majority, are now dissatisfied with the government, with the authorities. And they are criticizing it. They have together, after a dialogue that has been going on for some time, they have agreed to create the National Independent Electoral Commission. And now they are putting it into question. They are questioning its honesty, its ability, its competency, etc. So this is a little bit preoccupying for me. I would like some serenity to to prevail in our scene, in our political arena, but that's seem not to be the case. And that's a little bit preoccupying. As I told you, neutrality and transparency of the entire process are one of the demands that all the parties and the stakeholders have been exacting. And they complain about the lack of the latters, the lack of transparency and honesty and proficiency. And some of the parties have gone as far as to regret having participating in the creation of the National Electoral Commission. They have stated many many things that demonstrate that this National Commission was not up to the level people expect it to be up to. And of course, there are a lot of rumors in the situation, in the context, that these elections may be cancelled, that these elections are rigged, there are rigging, and that the whole process is not up to the expectations, and that some of the parties demanded that the process be done again, and be done once more. Of course, if we try to satisfy these demands, then we would not advance. We would be every time an election is contested or is put into question, we will have to do it again, that we won't get out, we would be turning around and around, and that would not be possible. But what we should expect is that the National Commission heeds and take into account the observations of the parties and the observations of the people themselves, because there is definitely something that is wrong, something untoward that is going on, because there is such an outcry from everybody that could not be just gratuitous. There is something to that, and this deserves an attention, peculiar attention from this institution itself, if it wants to be taken into account and to be taken seriously.
Thank you so much, President Mohammed الكتاب, for your insightful remarks.